It's Week 16 of the 2023 season, and this one features the Ravens' burner at wide receiver. He's in the top tier of the league, 5th in receiving yards so far this season. It's the Ravens and the Browns, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
After what we saw last week, over 400 yards passing, the obvious thing is to go talk to him. I want to talk to his receivers, and boy, were they enthusiastic about what happened then. They can't wait for this week's game.
He was hitting them outside, over the middle, everywhere, and for his efforts, of course, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. They go play action now. Jackson.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Jackson now. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The Ravens at 10-4 on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw again is Jackson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
10 more there and another first down.
I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was ball's always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical. They've been crisp. And as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Edwards will score. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on. going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop it.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense.
Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
First carry for Nick Chubb.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
They'll go option to the short side.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. They'll try the air now with Watson.
And he'll just get rid of it.
This defense for the Ravens, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson.
He's going to drop this one down for Chubb.
And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. A gain of 4, not enough. And it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down.
Here's Corey Bojorquez now to punt this one away.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And it's taken in at the 9. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there at 22. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Jackson.
He finds his man, complete. That's Mills. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
It's another first down as this time they get an even 20.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
These 2 division rivals, a couple of late games on the schedule this year. Their first meeting, you might remember, was back in Week 10, and it was the Ravens getting the road victory in that one, so now they'll look to finish off the season sweep here in Baltimore. On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins.
And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 31. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient at getting their third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. That would almost intercept it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 17-yard line. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers,
and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Gus Edwards, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here. And I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was polished off by the Gus Edwards touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fields it right around the goal line. Pierce has it knocked loose. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They go with Chubb on second down. Gets around him. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Nothing the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Back to throw, Watson. Buying time to his left. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this this season, and that run puts him over the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
And they'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
And the football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins.
He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Give him 30 yards there.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Jackson.
And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 25 yards that time. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great effort there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year.
And the Ravens have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's taken to the 26. They'll score that a 36-yard punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win. Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
53 yards on the ground for him so far.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. Another run here with Dobbins. And he works free. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd and a couple, Jackson.
That's taken in by Duvernay.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Jackson going to throw quickly here, complete. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. He'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Gus Edwards on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Ravens are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the rout is on here in this first half. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Cleveland offense making their way out.
The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, 3 completions on 1st and 2nd down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And that will come the offense as they take over.
J.K. Dobbins leading the way as the offense returns to the field.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
76 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
A give up the middle to Dobbins.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side.
And, oh, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To throw is Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the third quarter.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Here's the Browns offense. back to start off this third quarter.
And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
The third quarter starts with a run by Chubb.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Here's Watson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins.
And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48.
87 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, I think after that run, the defense get back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game.
And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Out of the gun, Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
And taken right on the 30. So a change of possession here on the punt. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Jackson. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
First down, and it's Hill again. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, although it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great, too.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
From the 29, Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end.
Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
Watson. And that will be incomplete.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner. And that quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that 3rd down snap.
Taken from just outside the 30. 35 yards that time on the punt.
Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
first down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the fourth quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, the Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now it's Jackson.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Oh, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And Edwards trying to push forward, but unsuccessful. They stop him short of the marker.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And this Browns defense stands tall. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back and able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second down, here's Watson. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, it's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
Here's a give to Dobbins.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
They go play action now. Jackson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Mills.
And he will have the Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now a handoff for Dobbins.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
I know that every now and then we get those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Kylan Hill, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
This take it in at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 24. Dancing to his left. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Here's Watson.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
The offense on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at the 18.
Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. The Ravens
We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. It's one of the best steakhouses in the city. In all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put in number 1 for what we've seen this season.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
on the counter now, it's Dobbins. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40.
That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Right back to Dobbins on first. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll go again with Dobbins. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, you realize that both sides of the ball were so dominant in this game. And on offense, not only did they score it, but they did it through the air as well as on the ground. Everything was working.
And you know that the guys who scored the touchdowns, who contributed that way, that threw them or ran them, they're going to find our cameras and have a big grin for them. But I hope our cameras find that offensive line. How versatile were they? Move the ball on the ground, move people so they could run it, and then protected their passers so they could throw it.
So for the Ravens, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans.